What's up, everybody?
Hello.
Strange Famous coming to you live from Soldier Fit headquarters right here in Frederick, Maryland. I don't know about you guys, but I am really excited that we switched this to a nighttime drinking game.
Well, I said earlier, I'm nerve-sighted, right? Nervous and excited, so nerve-sighted.
Well, I have a feeling that Avalon will be able to help us with our jitters tonight.
Plenty of juice.
Yes. So let me just say thank you so much for tuning in. We are having a good time already. We've been behind the scenes, getting warmed up, ready for you guys. Everybody's a little nervous because this is live and we're going to have some fun. So I brought my girls here tonight. Avalon.
Hello.
She is the Unicorn Whiskey Fairy, y'all.
That's me.
It is
Unicorn Squad.
legit. She is the queen of whiskey. We've got the roofing queen here tonight.
Yes, we do.
Over here waiting to come on in a few minutes. And my boy, Jeff, the only guy here tonight, he's in trouble. I have a feeling he's going to be in trouble, and we're going to be drinking, so anything could happen.
He'll be fine.
We might be
Give him
playing
some
spin the bottle here.
whiskey and he'll be good to go. A little bit.
So Avalon is going to go through some of the most amazing products that they make over at Catoctin Creek. They have, I don't even know, how many things do you make there?
So we make 3 different types of rye. That's our core stuff, and then we do brandy as well, and then gin. So those are our main ones. And then we
Power
have
players.
Yes. Yeah, and then we have yearly releases that we do that I'll be talking about as we go down the line of whiskey. So you guys want to start with
I
some?
think we should definitely start with some whiskey.
I will not
Alright.
deny.
Yeah.
So
You got an
deny.
Uber, right? So.
Oh, absolutely. Always
Hey.
practice drinking safely.
yes,
Hey,
yes, that is the
lessons
most
learned.
important thing. So very apropos of us being all women here, or the majority, sorry. We are a woman-owned company out of Percival, Virginia. So Becky is our owner and distiller. So chemical engineer turned distiller. Like to say we give a little credit to her husband, Scott. He was the reason why this is a thing. He got real drunk in Ireland with Becky and had the epiphany moment, realizing that as a chemical engineer, she was a scientist and she could make whiskey. He hated his job in tech and was like,
Is that not the most badass story ever?
No, you can swear all you
Right
want.
out of the bat.
That's
Right
totally
out of the
fine.
bat, Rachel.
That's totally
Right out of the
fine.
cage. All right.
So what are we doing first?
So this is our Roundstone Rye. So it's our flagship. It's our 80 proof. So we do 80, 92, and cask proof. Essentially, everything starts off at cask proof, and we'll get there. You just don't want to blow out your palate because it's higher in proof. You might not be able to taste everything as you go if you start there. So the 80 is what Becky refers to as the porch sipper. Very easy drinking rye, kind of like the bourbon drinker's rye.
Okay.
So yeah, part of the reason why we decided to do rye, because they're like, all right, fine, we're gonna open up a distillery. What kind of whiskey do we want to do? So to stay historically accurate to the area, they were like, well, rye. Most people don't realize rye was America's first whiskey. As much as Kentucky would like us to think it was bourbon, it was actually rye, and it started in Virginia.
Very interesting.
And you know what I learned today is that Catoctin Creek was the first distillery to open in Virginia after the Prohibition.
In Loudoun County.
In
So it
Loudoun
was the first
County.
one in Loudoun County since Prohibition.
Okay.
So
Now,
yeah,
how far are you outside of Leesburg?
about 20 minutes west.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and
Just
about
for-
40 minutes from Frederick.
Okay. Now, how far are you from DC?
About an hour,
Okay. Solid hour.
depending
it's worth the
on
trip.
traffic.
It's worth the
That's
trip.
always the most important.
It's so worth the trip because they have like all of everything there. You can see everything. You can see where they
And the
bottle
scenery.
everything. All of it. It's crazy.
Scene, that
So our
environment.
our distillery
We
and
doing this?
tasting room. Oh, we're
I
way
already
ahead of
drank
it.
mine.
So yeah, our distillery and tasting room used to be an old Buick dealership. So we have since converted it into the distillery, and then on the other side is the tasting room. One of the coolest stories about when they first got the building, or at least I think it is. So initially, the wall that separates the distillery and the tasting room was covered with like sheetrock or something. And so Scott, he's like, I want to help with demolition and stuff. And so he's like, all right, I'm going to take my sledgehammer and start knocking down some walls. So he did, and one of the first, slings of the hammer, he noticed that there was glass behind the wall. He's like, why is there glass
going
here?
on here?
And realized that there was original glass from when the dealership had opened.
How astounding.
That they covered up, which is crazy. Like,
Did,
why
were they
would
able
you?
to, did you save it?
Oh yeah. So there's 2, I want to say, like 8 pane windows, so all original glass. And then there's the original double door from when they would bring the car into, I guess, the workshop, and then the showroom is our now tasting room. So that it's all still there. So we definitely showcase
Perfect
that.
little palette to kind of cultivate your own.
Yeah, and so,
So
like for
cool.
events, we'll open it up and people can kind of walk
So
through.
that was going to be one of my questions. Do you hold events? Is that
Yes.
something, are there weddings or what type of
We do a lot of
events?
like rehearsal dinners. We do dinners with local chefs in the area. So Patamac Farms, Magnolia at the Mill.
Okay,
I want to say
okay.
there's a couple other ones, so all local chefs. I know Eric Fox is one that was Magnolia's. Now he is mobile for Polished Fox. And then I can't remember who the chef is.
But
for
that's
the other
awesome. So
place.
you
But yeah,
have-
they're all lovely and they do a great job. When
And
we-
you had third party people come in, and it's kind of a support.
Yes.
scratching
Oh yeah,
back
we're all about
situation.
supporting the local and just
And
like
it switches it up as well, which is
and,
nice.
and with the distillery itself, like we try to reuse and repurpose as much as we can. Hence our gin, which I'll get into as we
The
go
building
down.
is just cool in general, though. Like
Yeah.
the
I
bar
might
is a
have to
piece
see
of
it.
artwork in itself.
It's
Like,
yeah,
the
it's a
bar is like
retro vintage like U-shaped
So cool.
bar.
Hitting me in the heart.
It's beautiful.
It's really cool. All right. So what else are we drinking?
All right, so this one is my personal favorite. So this is
I
our,
have to start. It's already starting, and it's not even tequila.
so this one's our 92 proof.
Okay.
And it's my personal favorite. It's what we at the distillery refer to as our shift drink. So during the pandemic, when instead of letting us go, I got very lucky. Catoctin is by far one of the most amazing companies I've ever worked for. They take care of us. So instead of letting us go or furloughing us, they sent me and John Shope, who is the Virginia rep, into the distillery to essentially be the highest paid bottlers in the history of Catoctin.
Fantastic.
So we still got our
But that's
salary.
adapting, right? Just like in our industry,
Yeah.
it's adapting.
And they again want to make sure to take care of us, and you know it was an amazing experience. I will say it did get old bottling. So if you've ever worked in the restaurant industries, just imagine rolling silverware for 8 hours a day for 6 months. You get over it very quickly.
Yeah.
But we had plenty of whiskey to pass the time. Plenty of whiskey. So the difference between these two is I'll pull this one up because that's going to be the last one. So the difference between them is going to be the proof and the barrel selection. So it's all single barrel. So it goes barrel to barrel. So we're not blending anything. So it's all 100% rye. And because it's single barrel, each barrel is going to change a little bit. So what we're looking to do specifically in these two is to showcase those barrels that really stand out to us. So the 80 and the cask proof are going to be either Virginia or Minnesota oak. As much as we would love to use
You're
all.
talking about the wood material that the barrel is
Yes.
made of.
Yeah.
And so that plays how much of a significance into
The flavor?
yeah.
So there's certain notes, like specifically with the Virginia oak, you're going to get more fruit flavors, which is, so that's the 92. It's actually 100% Virginia oak. So that's one that we have now. And so you're going to get a little extra oomph of spice because it is rye. And then a nice balance of stone fruit, like plum, dark cherry, and vanilla.
Umph and bounce, I'm down. Let's
Yeah.
go.
So yeah, like I said, our shift drink is a little shifty.
Yeah, that had a little bit more of a
Well,
then.
yeah, it's a nice
A
little
little bit
warmth.
more masculine there.
A little kick it there.
Yeah.
Kicks
Gives
are
you
fine.
a little grit,
Like
that's
a
awesome.
cigar. A cigar would be nice with that.
Oh,
I
wait
wouldn't
till
know,
you get
but
to the
yes,
cask proof.
yes.
That one's just, it's super chewy. So yeah, like I was saying, the difference between them is the proof and the barrel. So the 80 is gonna, the cask proof is Virginia or Minnesota, same as the 80. Again, as much as we would love to use all Virginia oak, since we're based out of Virginia, at this point, we are now in 28 states and 6 countries.
Phenomenal.
And there's also another 60 distilleries in Virginia.
Wow.
So
yeah.
the cooperages, which are the places that make the barrels, they send us what we can get, because otherwise we just completely dry them out, just with us by ourselves. So
And
we
if you
do a nice
see,
little
they
balance.
just have like the space is small, but it's just like everywhere you look, there's just barrels of stuff and stuff aging, stuff being bottled. It's just like crazy. I went there during a bottling event, and they actually did like a corporate outing. So the company
okay,
brought their
okay.
employees there, and they all got to
little rah,
bottle.
rah, cha,
So they were
cha.
all bottling the stuff and putting their own signatures on it,
You know
like
what?
that they
That's
bottled
that's
it.
a great idea.
It was
so
really
so
cool.
corporate events too. So not just the weddings and the privates and the dinners, but something an employee
Team building.
Team building.
Yeah, so we have a private barrel program. So it goes, the majority of the private barrels that we do are for like bars and restaurants, like all over the country. But we will have some companies that are like, we have a lot of money. We'll buy a barrel for $5,000 or whatever it is, and just have it for as a barrel pick for the staff. For like, you know,
That's
those
phenomenal.
big companies.
So you
super
you
fun.
also ship out to establishments, to restaurants and bars.
That's
and
well,
stuff?
that's
So
my
you-
main job. So I cover DC, Maryland, and Delaware, and I sell Catoctin into bars and restaurants and liquor stores. So we just finished doing a barrel for the Vataggio brothers out in MGM. We did one for Dirty Habit, Kick-Axe. If you haven't been to Kick-Axe, it is amazing. They're in DC. It's an axe throwing
I love
bar.
doing those. It's so much
It's a
fun.
lot of fun.
Yes.
And they just expanded. They have a patio now.
All these places I have to go.
I'll make you a list.
Just need
I'll
to do
give
a
you-
bus, you know.
Just follow her on Instagram.
Yeah.
Follow her on Instagram.
I do a lot of events. I'm actually going to be at the Passenger tomorrow doing a tasting event in my unicorn onesie.
Oh
Usually how you're
yeah.
gonna find me at the events. I thought about wearing it today, and I was like,
We'll take it down a
Yeah.
notch.
I also forgot that it was televised, which it would have been fun to be in my onesie and then just go straight back home and go to sleep.
I need a onesie. I need a house.
I got
onesie.
plenty. I can help you out.
I mean, I'll
send
take
you-
one.
Well,
All right, we're doing this.
So
Let's-
this is our cask proof. So I will say, take a little sip first, since it's about 116 proof.
Oh,
Yes. So you want to pace
that
yourself a little
burns
bit.
different.
I need to have a talk with myself prior to. Let's see.
That's making my mouth water.
So the best thing to do, because so it's alcohol, right? And the first sip is going to kind of trick you a little bit because alcohol is technically poison, and your body is a good indicator of like what you should ingest and put in your body, and you're going to get those. I don't know if I can drink it, but you want to get your taste buds a little drunk. Not your body.
We
but
have to
your
mask
taste
them. You don't know what's happening, taste buds, tongue.
You just have to
Okay.
talk to your taste buds and tell them, I'm the boss.
Exactly.
I know
So-
what's better for you. This
And
is
then
what
maybe
we're
like
doing.
put your tongue to the roof of your mouth and kind of like whoosh it around a little bit.
How do I describe this? Because it's not overbearing. It's not pungent. I don't think would be the right word, but it has a. And there it goes. I feel it all.
It hits.
You can feel
It's
it
that
like
nice,
go
it
all the
hugs
way
you.
down.
It's
into
almost a
your
little bit of a
soul.
numbing agent to a degree. Maybe that's my tongue having a party. I don't know.
It could be, yeah. I mean, again, it's alcohol, so you just kind of the first couple of sips, kind of help, acclimate
Call
the
that
palate,
the
and then
Panty
the
dropper.
yes. So yeah, the cask proof, 1 out of every 70 barrels ends up getting selected for this.
Wow.
And then so everything
What a
is
strategic process.
we
I
taste
had no
everything.
idea.
Yep, we taste it all across the board. It's not like
So
we have
how
like a
much
dart
is
in the
that?
warehouse.
How much does a bottle of that cost?
The 80 usually retails anywhere between like 75, 80 a bottle. And then the 92 is usually around like 55, 56, 57. And then the 80 goes, let's see, it could be like 34 to
Okay, so that's the little
$39.99.
sister and
Yeah.
the middle child. Okay,
And
I
that's
gotcha.
my market of DC, Maryland, and Delaware.
Okay. Now, what's the favored? What sells the most? What's the most popular?
The 80 is our flagship, so that one definitely sells the most, but the 92 is definitely making a little jump. I found after
the
the
middle child.
pandemic, everybody's tolerance has gone up a little
I
bit.
like that one the most.
Yeah.
I think
It's the most accessible. It's like the nice
has a
little happy
nice
medium.
flavor,
Yeah.
but it's also not too overpowering where you can't drink it. Like I could just drink that.
It's enjoyable. It's not like, oh, I gotta take, it really is.
So I want to take a minute to talk about Rachel real quick here. All right, because we're gonna have to get our next guest on the air.
Sorry, let's do this.
All right,
I'm
so,
ready.
Rachel Smith,
That is I.
Smith Partner Real Estate.
Smith Partners with Remax
So-
Realty Plus.
Yeah. So we've been doing stuff together for a little while now.
We have been.
Yeah.
You are my media master, the queen of all things, getting Rachel to A, calm down, B, get on video, then you do all the editing and producing and get it all up, and you're just
We've
my
just been
media
having fun
queen.
doing stuff though.
It's so much fun. You
like
make
we've
it
been
so
doing. We did a
much
video
fun.
with Sandra.
We did.
We've been doing the partner picks.
Our Smith
which are
Partner
my
Picks,
favorite.
which
Those are
we
the best.
highlight local businesses that right now we're in Mount Airy and we're in Westminster and then Fredericks to come. I'm excited about that.
Yes.
Just highlighting local businesses, really, that's my favorites. I'll be honest.
You know, Rachel, you're hilarious because you're like, I'm so nervous about coming on here. I don't know what I'm gonna do, and then you're like, I am the life of the party.
Right?
Put me
I'm
on
like,
camera,
where's
and I'm
the
good to
editing?
go.
You know?
Rachel, so what's funny about Rachel and I is that I Instagram stalked her. Rachel, scoot in here a little bit.
Sorry,
Get-
I'm
get-
chilling back here.
Get over here, sugar. So, Rachel, I kind of found her on Instagram and I was like, oh my gosh, this girl is amazing. Like, she had these, like, super fun videos. And I hit her up on Instagram and I'm like, girl, we live in Mount Airy, can we get coffee? And we sat down and had coffee and I was
We
like,
did. We had a bonding
had this
boss
moment of like girl power. We want to help each other, and so
I'm so glad
That's
it
awesome.
happened.
You
Yes.
gotta love the women supporting women.
Yeah.
I love it.
Because there's a lot of, like,
And
even
you
in
and I
this
were the
social
same
climate,
way,
like,
like,
you know, you'd be
yes.
surprised how many women were like, no,
Yes.
it's my, I'm like, it's all of our time.
Yeah.
Let it all happen.
Have fun with it.
Yes.
You know.
But
what
you
I
know
mean?
what? Even
Lift
with
each other
that,
up.
you just have to take a moment and be like, you know what? They might be going through something, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But let's take that energy, whether it's negative or what have you, and cultivate it into something that we can leverage and use to move forward,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So if you're what do they say? Any publicity is good publicity type
Girl,
of situation.
when you're
Absolutely.
on top,
So-
it's easy to be the topic.
You just
know what
take it
I
and
mean?
roll with it.
You just gotta go with the flow, let the energy happen. You know what? That man-eater video you did.
Oh yeah.
Oh, fire.
So I like to
just
do for my
Google,
listings-
Google Rachel Smith
Yeah,
man
so
eater.
I like to
Just
do little
Google
music
it.
videos for
Google
my
it.
listing, and I like to be in them, right? So that was 8618 Jones Mill Road in Chevy Chase. I did a little whatever. And that was
power.
fun. Had to cross the main road in traffic. Yeah. had people staring.
So you basically
Did
have
little
like these
music
great
videos for a listing.
the spaces
Amazing.
that we would all
listings.
love to live in, but probably can't afford.
Like
and you're like, I
dream.
get to
Oh
make
no,
music
I
videos.
do it all. I mean, from
You live in all of them?
no, I don't live in them. I kind of do sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, the amount of
Yeah.
time that I spend in some of these properties. But no, I mean, just it's a vast array of different videos. But I think that that's what's important, no matter what you're showcasing or advertising, that you are getting the visibility, right? That you're showing people. And now in this era, right? I like to call it the TikTok era, even though I'm pushing 40. Everything is instant gratification. So your audience, you got 2 seconds to get that engagement. And if you're not getting it, then it is what it is. But that makes the videos all the more important
Yeah.
because it's the movement, it's the exposure,
And you're
it's
not afraid to
fun,
stand out.
right? And
That's
it
what makes you
adds to that
stand
passion.
out.
When
It's
you're
like
passionate
you're,
about something,
Oh yeah.
you can
Yeah,
feel your energy when you do a video.
that's just you.
And I
That's
love
your
that.
wand. You just put that magic
Girl,
wand.
I'm your
over
biggest
my-
cheerleader. You know that.
Love it.
One of these days I'll end up doing some videos of me in my unicorn attire.
Please do.
I was telling, we were talking about earlier, I was like, if I only had time, because I have events that I do like basically Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in either mainly like DC or Baltimore area. And then I'm exhausted. I was like, oh.
It's a lot because you're
gotta
consistently
grind.
engaging with people as well. So it's a lot. It's a lot, but
Building a brand,
gotta
it
keep
takes
going,
a lot of
man.
work. But you
Gotta
guys
keep
are
going.
doing it.
Doing my best.
Well, if you guys need a real estate agent in Mount Airy, Frederick, Carroll County,
Maryland and
Montgomery
Pennsylvania.
County,
Yep, we're licensed
anywhere.
in Maryland, Pennsylvania, DC soon to come, Virginia. We're tossing up. But yeah, we are ready to rock and roll. We've been doing this. I've been doing this. I think 9 years now. So had experience prior to COVID market, and the market's changing. You guys will see that here shortly once the consumer data starts to hit your platforms. But the market is changing.
Yeah.
If you're picking up what I'm laying down, but still here to make it happen. So anything you guys
But
need?
follow Rachel to stay informed because she's always
Yeah, and
posting.
see
She
the fun
posts stuff
stuff.
every day about market changes, new listings,
Different stats.
and she
And
has
if you ever
tools
have
on her
questions
website.
about
So-
your specific, yeah.
If you want to know what your house is worth, you can go on her website, put in your address, and figure out what it's, worth
instant.
right now.
You don't even
Instant.
need to like
Yeah.
fill out the crap so that we stalk you. It's just an instant. Hey, here you go.
Pretty cool.
I might need to chat with you because like my boyfriend and I have been like looking. I know he's got a real estate agent, but it never hurts to kind of like
Get some
look
more info.
around.
I
and
always say when
see.
it's meant to be, it will be, and it's all about what your specific needs are per client, right?
So I have an Airstream, and like my hope is to like
We're
we're in a
love.
townhouse
I'm
now.
in love right now.
and-
I
I haven't been able to spend as much time in it as I would like.
Spectacular.
Because now I'm more central in Bel Air, Maryland versus living in Percival, to where I was like, I'm just going to pick up and go. And like,
I
this
tell
is
you
my
what,
home.
I mean, in real estate, it's an investment, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not making any more of it. Just like any market, it's supply and demand. So when it makes sense, it makes sense. Now that we're seeing things change with the rate, there's always going to be a tit for a tat, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with the rates doing their little thing that they're doing, now we're going to start to see different loan products come back on the market versus conventional straight away, or you got to have cash. Now it's going to start to
Different
revert and
opportunities,
yeah.
different
We got the
situations.
USDA, and I'm not a lender, but there's all different kinds of loan products out there that you can leverage to get into a property.
I am
so
a
excited for
novice
that.
when it comes to real estate. Like, he'll talk to me about it.
Oh,
I'm
I
like,
love it.
I don't know.
I'll sit there
any of
all
these
I'm
things.
just like
Yay.
looking at pictures. I'm like,
Oh no!
Oh, yeah,
Houses
I'm
are just the catalyst. Really, real estate has nothing to do with houses. I'll be honest. It's about the relationships and the knowledge base and the connections and making sure that your client doesn't get sued, making sure that they're saving money, making sure that they're making money if they're the seller. Houses again are just the
I
catalyst.
was going to say it's the same thing until
Yeah,
you were like,
it
sued. I was
really,
like,
really
nobody's
is.
going to sue anybody over drinking. Well, I hope nobody's
Well.
going to sue anybody over drinking whiskey. But
What's your
the
insurance policy?
relationship, the relationships being in sales, like we're both in sales. I sell Catoctin, you sell houses.
Yep.
And it's all just making sure that people like you.
So moments and memories.
Yeah. And
go.
you might not have like
Unless you're my investor, then
yeah, as
you
much
don't
as
care
I would
about
love, like I think Catoctin is the best whiskey out there.
I got to tell you, I'm highly impressed.
Thank you.
Do you have any for sale right now?
I don't, but I can
I
definitely.
will order. Is that something that you can order online?
There
you go.
Yes and no. So in Virginia during the pandemic, they opened up bottle sales for Virginia only because it's a controlled state, so they love their money, so they're going to keep it internal. But we do have a way of sending product to. We have like a third party that we work with that we
Okay.
can send it. So you got to just check
Got
the
it, got it,
website,
got it.
and it's. Oh God, I should remember this because we did a bunch of videos during the
can put it in
pandemic.
the
It was
comments.
CatoctinCreekStore.com.
Okay,
I
okay.
think that's what it is. Catoctin
We'll
Creek
put it in the
Store.
I was
comments.
just
to
going
make
to
sure.
say there's
Yeah.
can be some type of.
Okay, so yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what the website is. But if you just go to the CatoctinCreek.com, it'll give you all of the places that we're in and all of the products that we have for sale.
And I've seen your stuff in just about every store.
I'm doing my job.
I'm excited now. I'm going to start closing gifts.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, there you go.
If your
Buy or sell with me. Closing gifts.
if your
Catoctin
agency wants to
We'll
do
do
a
the big sister
barrel
one.
with us
That'd be fun.
and give those for closing gifts, that's always an option.
Does everybody see stars and angels
my
flying around? Is that how this?
And you're in Maryland, so I would get credit for it. So that's yeah.
That's awesome. All right.
I love it.
We're going to take a break. And when we come back, Jeff from Low Memorials is going to be here. Thank you so much, Rachel, for coming.
Thank you.
in.
Thank
I
you,
love
guys.
And we'll be right back. See you in a minute.